Yeah, now I know your AC condenser is a little bit older. Am I correct on that?
Yes, I have a Train 19 SEER that I put in about 16 years ago.
Are you looking to make the changeover before these refrigerants? Or are you going to wait till after? What is your thought?
I'm waiting, but I'm waiting for a different reason. I'm much more interested in the when the cold climate heat pumps come out. So I think I'll always have a hybrid system. I know Tyler elaborated on it pretty good, but I'm not ready to go full electric. But I do like the hybrid system myself. So as soon as that's what I'm going to go with probably. That's what I'm putting my house. So I'm a big fan of the hybrids.
Certainly. So refrigerant's a big change in the industry. I could foresee this maybe coming again, another refrigerant change. Are there any other major changes that you've seen over the past 5 years? I feel like there's been significant changes.
Sure, the efficiencies are crazy good right now. I mean, you can get a furnace that runs 98% efficient, full modulation, and with all the rebates and everything, it's pretty much, it's not a huge price increase to go with a standard, like just a standard 95% efficient furnace to get up to that 98. Wi-Fi, digital controls, that is another big change. Everybody wants to control everything from their phone. Some of our equipment likes to do that. Some of our equipment doesn't like to do that. So that's a big one for us. Let's see, the refrigeration, the SEER ratings. I guess the one thing is the equipment, the furnaces are getting smaller and the air conditioners are getting bigger. And how they're doing that basically is, or why they're doing that basically is the coils and the condensers, to get them SEER ratings, they have to add more fins of coil inside of these things. And it's, we definitely have challenges getting certain equipment in the basements. Newer homes with a 10-foot basement, no problem. Older homes with a 6-foot basement, big challenge. So we do a pretty good job with it. And our PMs do a pretty good job with it to, make sure we can get all that to fit in there. But it's a challenge sometimes for sure.
So I remember when we first, these hybrid heat pumps came out, and I walked into the office and I seen this crazy diagram as a wiring diagram. And why don't you walk me through that on the first one? I know we switched to Train shortly after, but that wiring diagram, I couldn't believe what you guys went through to try and put this first one in.
Yeah, so the challenge was the thermostat to control these things. One, it has to be a dual fuel thermostat. Two, it has to have a sensor of when we're going to switch over from the hybrid system or the outdoor heat pump to the gas system inside, and how we can make that changeover occur. And yeah, we had it was a challenge to, one, find the right thermostat, because everybody said they could do dual fuel on their thermostats, but not necessarily the case with the equipment that we were using. So the biggest thing is pairing the equipment with the proper thermostat. That was a little bit of a learning curve for us, and it was so new to the industry that we didn't really have a lot of even our suppliers were like, that should work, it says dual fuel on it, but not necessarily the case. And so we kind of invented our own wiring diagram at first to make it all work, through some trials and tribulations, of course. But yeah, it worked out. It ended up working out pretty good. And then when we switched to Train and started putting Train heat pumps in, they had controllers that were built for these systems, and their Wi-Fi. We're able to monitor them from our shop. We're able to go in and make changes with customer permission from our shop. I mean, it can eliminate service calls. These things are basically, mini laptops on your wall. They can do quite a bit. I mean, they can tell you the weather. They can tell you when to change your filter. They can tell you when to switch your heat pump over from outdoor to indoor. So it was a challenge at first, but we got pretty good at it. To be honest with you, we do a pretty good job with them.
Yeah, and now I know we're putting in probably some of the most in Western New York. We put a lot of these hybrids in, and I think that's a big advantage. Is number one, we have the expertise, and we do them over and over. So somewhere we're a company that maybe doesn't do a lot of these, they might run into these issues and not have the back end support. I know certainly we've worked out the kinks and really focused on executing a good job there.
Yeah. The first, I would say the first 5 were, I questioned it a little bit, but since then we've put a ton of them in. We have some, younger guys who had the benefit of working with the more experienced guys who now put them in by themselves, and they can, these guys do a really good job with them now, and we pretty much have it dialed in. So works out pretty good.
Yeah, that's one of the first things I've learned about you is you're certainly the older techs have this stigma that they want their old school stuff. They like it this way. They don't like new technology. You're like that to a degree, but you're always open to what are these advancements, what do they look like, and you enjoy learning about them. We had a conversation the other day where you were talking about, I guess, why don't you dive into that conversation?
I'm not sure what conversation you're referring to, but I do. I'm not the first person in line for change, that's for sure. But once I believe in the product, I'll be a huge champion of it. And I'm not I wouldn't say I'm overly aggressive as far as like, wow, the world's changing, but environmental change, how can we save the environment? But this just makes sense, and it's the technology's there, it's very good, the efficiencies are there, they're very high, and to me it makes perfect sense. Like it's just a perfect system right now. If I could do, I think I just told you this, but if I could do any system in my house, I would. If I had to put a system in today, I would definitely put a hybrid system in my house. It's the best of both worlds, and I believe in the product, and I am hard-headed when it comes to change mostly, but once I believe in it, I'm all about it. So
yeah, and I think a lot of our techs think the same way. It's and I tell everybody, don't sell something you don't believe in. Don't offer something you don't believe in. You got to believe in it to be able to really get the customer's trust too. So. Yeah.
I was actually talking to one of our PMs, Tyler, the other day about this, and just he has also changed with the hybrid system to the point like he kind of looks ahead to get to that. Like it makes sense to him with the rebates and the actual cost at the end of the day, and the best system for a customer's home with efficiencies. So he's kind of on the same. We're on the same page with it pretty much, and that kind of helps too. Like if I believe in it, Tyler believes in it, and our installers believe in it, and our techs believe in it. I guess the only, I wouldn't call it the question I have left about the system would be longevity, number one. I mean, they're guaranteed. We have warranties on them for 10, 15 years. Compressors are warranted for a long time, 12 or 15 years, depending on which ones you go with. So how does the service side of it look? Like we've trained our guys on them. They've sat through all the classes, but they're 2 years old. A year and a half old, a year old, nothing's breaking yet. So I guess that would be, I wouldn't say a question or a concern that I have, but that's the part I kind of look forward to next. Like, how are we gonna, how does that look? Who can I send? And so yeah, that's where I'm kind of at with the hybrids. Is we'll see where it goes. I guess like it's the unknown. I guess right. Yeah. We haven't been there yet. They haven't been in long enough yet. But the actual heat pump technology and people having heat pumps in their homes is it's been forever. I mean, there's been reversing valves and condensing units for a long time. I don't have the exact dates in front of me or anything like that. I don't know them off the top of my head, but
I like to tell everybody that everyone has a heat pump. If you have a refrigerator in your house, you have a heat pump.
Sure.
So yeah, no, the technology's been there, but the advancement has definitely sped up really quickly here.
Yeah.